You're always in good spirits, man. I have to say, like, you're an incredibly positivity driven guy. I think it would take quite a lot to sort of drag you down, if I'm being honest.
I mean, bro, I'm far from perfect, and I mean, sometimes it get heavy. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I stay away and get away from people just because I don't want them to see me stressing or see me down. You know, my people used to me being the life of the party, me uplifting everybody. So when they see me being a little dull, they can tell that it's something going on. So when I get like that, I just get away and stay away for a while. But I mean, as much as I try to stay in good spirits, it's definitely not always easy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's totally understandable. You are just human, right? But I think a lot of people don't give themselves enough credit for their resilience. I think when people like yourself, when they do have a moment where they stumble and they struggle emotionally, or they're down, metaphorically speaking, right? I think it takes a lot more for someone like you to get there. I think you're probably much more self-critical of yourself once you arrive at that point as well. You know, if there's not a lesson to be learned from it, there's nothing to be gained from it, sort of mindset.
Yeah, for sure. Is it any? I know I've been seeing it's like 20 different podcasters been making stories about me since these allegations about I was dead or in jail, the missing report. So I definitely want to address a lot of that. I mean, some of the things people were saying was like direct insults. Some was indirect insults. But I realized that there was a lot of love too. So I want to embrace those who show love, who show genuine concern. Like, I appreciate y'all. Like that really motivated me. Like, wow, like, trust me, I don't even got family and friends who show that type of love. You know what I mean? But
freaking out is probably the word, mate. Like, we were freaking out. And the worst part is I had to sort of steady myself to come back to the live stream to address like 5,000 people. Like, oh yeah, everyone's fine. Everyone's going to be fine. But if we could collectively just meditate positively, don't ask me why, just if we could, it was wild, bro. And you are appreciated, right? You're part of a group of people now that are, if anything, we're too real to a fault. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if anything, our caring almost becomes intrusive. You know what I'm saying? It's but when we can't get a hold of people, or people go AWOL, or they're missing, that's just the way it is, bro. When you care, and that's just it. And I'm just so grateful. I mean, you heard me when I phoned you when we found out you were okay. I think you didn't say a word. 12 minutes. It was just me stress talking. Oh my God, I'm so glad you're, you know, and you know, I appreciate you saying that, because there was so many people, Shane, Beverly, everyone, Jaguar, you know, big homie, everyone, Sean, the mods. There's too many to mention, and they outdid it themselves. So I appreciate you pointing that out. I really do.
For sure. And to get back to that topic, with regards to I don't even like to consider them fans, because I think some people take offense to being called fans. So I think supporters would be a better word. But with regards to the supporters and the spies disguised as supporters, like, I want to address the fact that I totally appreciate the ones who encouraged me and stuck through with positive energy. But for the ones who, you know, I got text saying, I just seen this person say this about you. I knew you was a fraud, from the same people who was saying, we love you, Ronnie Bo, and we'd do anything to help you. So I just want those particular fans or viewers, whatever we should call them, to know, like, I came on these podcasts to basically publicize what was done to me in MCC Chicago while I was incarcerated there with R. Kelly. And I brought up R. Kelly because I felt like with him being so popular, even though he's so infamous and people got this terrible perspective of him, I felt like if I could befriend him and, offer him an opportunity for me to write a book to display a better, a positive perspective of him, I felt like he would comply with what I needed him to do for me and everybody who was mistreated in there during the COVID pandemic. Now, during the COVID pandemic, I read books about what that chancellor dude from Germany, did to a certain group of people during like the 1930s and 40s or whatever. But I felt like at that time, like the mind state that I was in and other inmates at MCC Chicago, including R. Kelly, it's like when a pandemic hit, like I don't know how y'all was reacting out here because I wasn't on the streets during the pandemic, but in there it's like, wow, what's going on? We can't watch TV. We can't come out of our cell. Like no time of the day. It's 24-hour per day lockdown. And the only thing the only like source of communication we had to the community was radios. And when we listened to radios, we was hearing that 5,000 people died today. 10,000 people died today from this disease. So for us in there, it's like, wow, what's going on out there? And they not letting us call to check on our family. So we don't know if our mama died, our daughter, our none of our loved ones, friends. We just hearing thousands of people and hundreds of thousands of people dying every day. You know what I'm saying? So that was enough mental abuse for everybody in there. You know what I mean? Including R. Kelly. I know people feel like he should be punished to the most extreme forms of punishment for what they think he did. But I don't even know if he did those things, because it's like if he did these things, and now like I've been saying that Jay-Z and Diddy was doing it, like why R. Kelly been targeted so long and they just now being held responsible for doing the same thing? But not to get off the topic, because I think it's very important for people to know, like during the pandemic, not only was we not able to contact our loved ones and we had to deal with the worry and the fear of not knowing if our children, our mothers and wives or whatever was alive, but it's like it's like the staff would act like they forget to feed us. They really wouldn't feed us sometimes. We couldn't order food or nothing. So it's bad to be in prison alone. But during the pandemic, it was just like the most atrocious, inhumane conditions that you could put any human being through. So I filed a lawsuit on the behalf of not just me, but R. Kelly and every other inmate who was in MCC Chicago during this time. And to be honest, I'm disappointed with R. Kelly right now because we had an agreement and I held up my bargain. I wanted to let the world know what was going on with him, to see a different side of him and to basically expose why these other people weren't locked up if they was doing the same thing. But his job was to, basically just speak up for all the inmates at MCC Chicago, and he didn't do that. So I kind of lost respect for R. Kelly for that, because like when you got a voice for the community and you got the world listening and you don't speak up for such conditions, like I know a lot of young ladies who, a part of certain industries who, have to degrade themselves to get to certain positions. And then people would attack people like Jaguar Wright for speaking up on these things. And to me, Jaguar Wright is the modern day Harriet Tubman. You know what I mean? Like she escaped that and now she coming back to free other people who going through that. You know what I mean? So, I definitely want any lawyers watching this, anybody who know the law, to look up case number 20 CV 3070 in the Northern District of Illinois. That's with regards to my lawsuit against MCC Chicago for how they did us during the pandemic. And also case number 22 CV 0440. And with regards to my recent situation, first I have to rewind the audience back to 2017 when I was constantly being, or not even arrested. I don't even think you call that being arrested when they don't take you to jail. Like, I think that's just called being detained when they cuff you and take you somewhere and try to interrogate you. But I was being harassed like that by a DEA agent named Timothy P. Gray. And I sued him and they settled. So all this stuff is documented now. But back in 2017 and 16, before I got indicted, I was telling my people what I was going through, and people thought I was going crazy. They were saying I was lying. They were saying the government wouldn't do nothing like that. The police wouldn't do nothing like that. So that caused me to like isolate myself just because people thought I was going crazy or they didn't want to believe me. Then when the documentation came out and this same DEA agent, Timothy P. Gray, got arrested himself because his other officers told on him that, yeah, he was framing people in cases. And they found out that, yes, he really framed Ronnie Bo, Ronnie Martin, whatever y'all want to call me, in the case. Then family and friends is like, oh, we sorry you went through that. Well, we hate you went through that. Wow, I wish I would have believed you. No, because why would y'all think I'm going crazy? Why y'all didn't believe me then when I needed y'all? You know what I mean? And now we can bring us up to today. So I think it was Christmas Eve or the 23rd. I got pulled over. They act like it was a regular traffic stop, and I got detained. I never went to a jail. They did the same thing they was doing to me back then. They took me to somewhere, a warehouse. You know what I mean? I don't know where it was. You know what I mean? But they asked me questions, and it's like, again, I want to state this for the record. I do not sell drugs no more. And on my dead brother, anybody who know me would know I do not lie on my dead brother. I do not lie, period. But for the people who always want to say somebody lying about something, that's just my way of trying to confirm things. So, okay, they detained me. And of course, they not asking me about nothing in the streets no more because I know they still watching me. I know they got all my phones tapped. I know they watch my interviews. So they know he's not in the streets no more. So I'm thinking like, what they doing this for now? And it's about things that I've been saying and doing online. So now they saying, do you know you could basically be indicted for what you're doing? And I don't even send Jaguar Wright texts from people who allege that they from the CIA and you shouldn't do this interview or you shouldn't do that. So, and I documented those things. I filed those things in federal court in my current revocation support, along with other revelations that people thought was just a publicity stunt or whatever they want to consider it, like with regards to allegations of Jay-Z having me shot. That's something that's really been filed in court documents, you know what I mean? So, okay, they basically say, well, we've been watching you and we know you got connections to this person and that person, and what y'all doing is a scam. Y'all gonna be sued and y'all gonna end up in jail for what y'all doing because y'all don't have no proof behind what y'all saying. Now me, most of what I say is heavily documented. I can't speak for everybody else, but everything that I say, if not everything, 90% of what I say is documented. You know what I mean? Like,
can I just ask you to clarify, right? Just to make sure that I'm not completely crazy, right? So what you're saying is you were brought into a police station and told by police officers that they are investigating you for what you're saying. No, you're not. Just reiterate that again for me, mate. Just clarify.
Again, they detained me. They never brought me to a jail or a police station. I don't know what that place was, but the same thing happened in my indictment. So for anyone who don't believe that these things can happen, trace my indictment. Trace in the Northern District of Illinois, case number 17 CR 597. For people who just don't believe reality. You know what I mean? And current case, the day that people were saying that I was locked up, I filed 2 lawsuits against the police that day. One is both is in the Eastern District of Wisconsin, because that's where I'm from. The Northern District of Illinois cases is based in Chicago, where I got indicted. But I'm from Milwaukee. The federal court in Milwaukee is the Eastern District of Wisconsin.
I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't insane, right?
No,
you
no.
You said warehouse. At what point? At what point is it normal police activity to apprehend someone? And let's be honest, this is an intimidation tactic. This is literally what you see in the mafia movies when the mafia pay off the police. Allegedly, officer freaking whatever your name is who's paying attention right now. Okay, in fact, right? I'm just saying, this is serious what you're saying, Ronnie, right? And I want you to continue with the story, but I just wanted to make sure, right, that I wasn't imagining the fact that you've been taken by police to an unknown location that does not correspond with what any of us would assume is a lawful interaction. Okay. And I need everyone to be on the same page here, because I don't think many of us will go through our lives meeting another person who this will ever happen to, whether on a podcast or in our real life. That is how far this is into what you see on a movie, Ronnie. Okay. And I just need everyone to understand how the wall this is.
Isn't that unlawful detention or something like that? Isn't there a law against doing that sort of thing over there?
Yes, yeah. And that's why I'm filing lawsuits. I filed lawsuits during the time that y'all was saying I was missing. But just for the record, Ron, you said you don't think this will ever happen. Like, I'm pretty sure if you got off here. And I
believe you. I believe you, Ronnie. In case
But I'm pretty sure it's just other people don't speak up, bro, because they be scared, bro. These people will tell you, these government officials, police, they do things that you won't think they would do, bro. They'll tell you if you tell anybody about this, we gonna kill you, or you gonna get life in prison and stuff like that. Bro. Like, this stuff really go on, but people don't believe it until they actually meet somebody who got the balls to stand up and speak out about it.
I completely agree. Yeah, I completely agree with that analogy as well, mate. 100%. But yeah, just in case anyone misinterpreted or I came across saying, like, I was just saying, it's so wild. Obviously, I believe you, but it's so wild, bro. And I just want to say you're handling it well, because I'm telling you now, I probably wouldn't have turned my phone on by now. That's all I'm saying. So I think you're handling it amazing, mate. But how, just before you continue, how prevalent? Obviously, we come from different countries. We come from different walks of life. We've butted heads before, and we've talked about our cultures a little bit. How prevalent in your world is this level of intimidation? How many of your people could your friends you've grown up with, right? Your people. How many of them have had a similar experience, whether it's from gang related stuff, whether it's from whatever, right? How prominent is this? Because what you've said there hit the nail on the head. Maybe it's people not speaking up. Maybe it's the fact that I've not met many people that are, from the streets in the States.
Let me tell you exactly why, right? Like, the reason why people like me don't speak out about it, because of what I went through when it was going on with me in 2017. Like, it's nobody to talk to, bro. Like, there's nobody to vent to, because the people you try to vent to, it seems so outrageous that it's like, man, stop it. That didn't really happen. And then another reason why you don't hear about it, because some people, they fold, bro, and they don't want to talk about it, because when it's happened to I'm going to say 95% of the people, if not 99% of the people, you know what they do? They fold. Like, when they did this to me in 2017, before they indicted me, right? Okay. Yeah. They tried to get me to work for them. So they were saying, Ronnie Bo, I know you may think you're doing something out here in the streets, but to us, you're a small fry. And we just want the guy that you getting this stuff from. And We want you to think about that. You're not under arrest now, but we've been watching you for 3 years, and we got enough on you already to put you away for life. So just think about that. And this is our number. You know, when you get a chance, and when you're ready to cooperate, call this number. And if you could buy a kilo from them, we'll give you how much that costs. If you can buy 10 from them, we'll give you that. You know what I mean? But we need you to get this guy off the streets, and then you won't do a day. And you know what happened with most people under them circumstances? They cooperate, they comply, they lock their people up. They do their people how Jay-Z did to Haven. Me, yeah. No, absolutely not. When they let me out in 2017, after having that talk with me, I sued them. As soon as I had the opportunity. Here in Wisconsin, you have to file a notice of claim first. And then 120 days after that, you can sue them in federal court. So the lawsuit that I filed on the 26th, this been going on, Ryan. Like, they did this 4 months before that. And yeah. soon as I got out, and it was like the same officers. So as soon as I got out, okay, y'all want to keep playing with me? All right, I'm in a federal courthouse filing these lawsuits. I filed them. They both filed in the Eastern District of Wisconsin. Case number, one of them is case number 24 CV 1664, and the other one is 24 CV 1665. Like, look this stuff up, Ron, and your audience. I'm pretty sure you got on here.
Ronnie, you see, for me, what it comes down to, right, is when people start messing with people's bottom line, right, when people start ruffling feathers, right, we see the corruption starting to sliver in. And for years, I've dealt with some horrible individuals, okay? And you see the corruption in countries. You see the corruption. You see it widespread, what people can afford as their corruption budget, and how far their arms reach. But when you actually meet the victims of this corruption, like yourself, right, it's one of those moments, mate. And I just needed to dial back, have you touch on that, because I think it's a much bigger point to all of this than some people may seem. And the fact that this was done in this way, and like I said, you're just handling it all so well, mate, and thanks for being here. And you got to the point of the story where in fact, can we go back to the point where you were picked up and taken to the warehouse, if you don't mind, and we'll start that narrative again, if you don't mind doing that, Ronnie, for me, mate, and we'll just run through it if you can.
Okay, what part of what do you want me to pick up at?
Well, I'd like you to pick up really from the moment that they came and they apprehended. Yeah,
to the car when they came, when the two I assume they're officers of some sort, even though they don't look like it. When the two officers came up to the vehicle.
What you're comfortable talking about, Ronnie? But again, what you're comfortable talking about?
Okay.
Yeah, if you don't mind, mate, because again, sometimes we need to hear things a second time.
Okay. Well, again, usually when I get pulled over, it's the same officers. Like, it's like they assigned to me. Like, this the Ronnie Bo task force. You know what I mean? We gonna pay y'all every hour a day y'all work to watch dude, investigate him. I really think they got a Ronnie Bo task force. Like, again, it was a similar situation, very similar to what I went through back then, bro. And see, the reason why I gotta keep bringing it up, because back then it was documented. You know what I mean? Right now, I'm in the process of documenting things with these lawsuits. But back then when they did it, bro, the officer Timothy P. Gray, the DEA agent, he had this state trooper. I forgot his name, but him and the state trooper both got arrested for doing the things that I'm alleging now, framing people in cases, making racist remarks against the people they arrest. So again, fast forwarded to now, or to that day. Okay, it's typical for me to get pulled over, bro. And I got license. My cars, both my cars is registered. Like they don't have no real reason to ever pull me over. But what they would say, oh, your tents was too dark, or oh, you didn't put your signal on. They'd make up the dumbest reason to justify why they pulled me over. And then, like this time, it's the same thing I've been going through. Well, we just have to detain you so we can search the car. All of this stuff is illegal, bro. Like, okay, y'all putting me in cuffs for what? Am I under arrest? Yo, why y'all put me in cuffs? No, we have to detain you so we can search the car. Okay, they put me in cuffs, put me in the car. They searching the car for 30 minutes. It's nothing in the car. I don't sell drugs no more. I barely even smoke weed now. I wasn't smoking weed in the car. Like, what is y'all doing? So, okay, we leave the car there. They took me somewhere, bro. I don't know where. It was not a police station. It was not a jail. Okay, we get here. Look, I'm pretty sure you know what's going on. You doing this and you doing that. You got these people online thinking this and doing that. You're running the scam. Like, what part of this shit is a scam? You know what I mean? Like,